Tonight, former mob boss Whitey Bulger is dead.
Mayor Billy Barlow announces funding for a local business.
And Governor Cuomo announces a new medical center.
WTOP 10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Seth Prevertil.
And I'm Madison Donor.
Infamous mob boss James Whitey Bulger has died after he was viciously beaten at the Hazleton prison in Brewston Mills. Law enforcement officials say the incident took place during a fatal prison attack on Tuesday. The 89-year-old South Boston mobster died a day after he was transferred to the prison from another facility. Prison officials say Bulger was found unresponsive at 8:20 a.m. He was pronounced dead after failed life-saving measures.
According to a federal law enforcement official, inmates had easy access to Bulger during the time of the killing because he was in general prison population. Investigators believe the mob boss was attacked by more than one person, with at least one of the inmates involved having connections to organized crime in Massachusetts. Bulger was arrested in June 2011 after eluding federal authorities for over 16 years. He was serving a life sentence for a series of crimes, including his role in 11 murders.
Mayor Billy Barlow announces $25,000 in funding to assist the Good Guys Barbershop in Oswego. This project will result in the addition of 4 jobs and a storefront location on West 1st Street in the core of downtown Oswego. Barlow says he's thrilled to assist Keith Raymond and the Good Guys Barbershop with their expansion project with this funding.
SUNY Oswego is celebrating 70 years of offering graduate education with a week of activities later this month. The school has been offering graduate courses since 1948, beginning with master's degree programs in elementary education and industrial arts education to provide students with better teaching credentials. The Division of Graduate Studies is now responsible for the administration of more than 50 degrees and certificate programs. The celebration is taking place from November 12th until November 16th. Events will range from appreciation activities to informational sessions.
SUNY Oswego alumni Al Roker is defending his Halloween costume in the wake of Megyn Kelly's firing from NBC. Roker says the issue is the changing of skin color and the racist history of blackface in minstrel shows, not with the dressing up in costume as a character of a different race. Roker wants people to know that his race shouldn't be an issue.
2018 marks the 100th year for women's suffrage, and SUNY Oswego celebrated with music.
The Oswego community came together last Wednesday night to enjoy the musical performance of Symphoria. The orchestral concert highlighted the achievements of women in music and the legacy which Central New York women made in the fight to gain voting rights for women. Symphoria is one of only 2 co-op orchestras in the United States and presents more than 50 concerts a year. Rachel Koth is the principal bassoonist of Symphoria and is living out her dreams by being in the group.
Actually, this has been like my dream job is to be principal bassoon of orchestra. It's like, oh look, here I am playing with Symphoria, so I'm really excited to be a part of the group.
Symphoria presents a wide range of performances to inspire community members throughout Central New York. This performance was to celebrate 100 years of women's suffrage.
I'm really glad we're doing this concert and that we're playing wonderful music by really fantastic women composers.
Oswego was the last of 3 colleges that Symphoria played their Achievements of Women in Music performance at. Adrienne Shelton reporting.
If you missed out on seeing Symphoria play this time, they will be back in Oswego in December for their Christmas Messiah. Governor Cuomo announced the opening of the new Medical and Research Translation Building at the Stony Brook University Cancer Center. Cuomo says this cutting-edge medical and research center will offer hope to patients and their families while solidifying New York as a nationwide leader in medical research. This new state-of-the-art cancer research facility at Stony Brook University will pave the way for developments of the future.
The renovation of Syracuse Hancock International Airport has been completed. Governor Cuomo announced the completion of the $62.4 million project to modernize the airport for people living in and traveling to the central New York area. The revitalized airport includes a larger terminal, a new exterior facade, 2 renovated glass pedestrian bridges, and a modern ticketing and baggage handling process. The project continues the state's effort to spur tourism. and reduce the unemployment throughout infrastructure investments.
Governor Cuomo urges Western New York and Finger Lakes region to prepare for heavy rain and thunderstorms. The area is expecting 2 to 3 inches of rainfall between Thursday and Friday. Governor Cuomo says the state is ready to provide assets and personnel as necessary to ensure localities have the resources they need to deal with potential flooding and to keep our communities safe. New Yorkers should use caution when on the road and be aware of potential flash floods.
Coming up later tonight, a California synagogue was vandalized.
And refugee children are transferred to Australia.
Now let's take a quick look at the weather with Storm Team 10 meteorologist Brittany Sparcino.
Hi, thanks guys. Looking at current satellite radar, you can see that our area is being pushed through with our heavy rain, as most of New York is. Looking at our current temperatures, you can see that we're in the mid to upper 40s with a lower temperature of 42 degrees at Harrisburg. For tonight's forecast, you can see that we're going to have heavy rain in a low of 46 degrees with a northeast wind of 10 to 15 miles per hour. Coming up after the break, is the rain going to keep coming? You're going to find out coming up after the break with my full forecast. You're watching WTOP 10 Nightly News.
Guys, I don't feel so good. Shouldn't have had that chili for lunch.
The inherent right to work is one of the elemental privileges of a free people. Endowed, as our nation is, with abundant physical resources, and inspired as it should be to make those resources and opportunities available for the enjoyment of all, we approach re-employment with the real hope of finding a better answer than we have now.
Donate to Goodwill, where your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Hi, welcome back from the break. I'm your Storm Team 10 meteorologist, Brittany Sparcino. Looking at today's current temperature, today's highs, you can see that most of our region was in the mid to upper 40s with a high at full in of 50 degrees. Looking at the current temperatures, we're still in the mid to upper 40s with a low in Harrisburg of 42 degrees. Zooming out to the rest of New York State, you can see that we're all in the mid to upper 40s, except for in Olean, where we have a low of 41. Looking at our current winds, we're very calm in our region, except for along the shore of Lake Ontario, where we have gusts of 13 to 15 miles per hour. Looking at our current satellite and radar, you can see that the rain is on our doorstep, and we don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. Looking at the futurecast, we can see that for the rest of tonight, we're going to see very heavy downpours. Looking in the Friday morning for your early morning commute, you can see that some of those showers have stopped, but there are some in the other part of New York where they're going to see some heavy showers. Looking the Friday at 6 p.m., you can see that our region is mainly clear with the showers, but we're going to have some cloudy conditions. Taking a look back in the Friday 10 p.m., if you're going out, you don't need to bring your rain gear, but just look out for some spotty showers. Saturday at 12:30, you can see that our area is still clear, except we have some lake effect rain showers that might push through our afternoon, but it shouldn't ruin any plans. Looking back, and it's Saturday 9 p.m., if you're going out, it should be a perfect night for that. You don't have to worry about any rain or any other precipitation. Rainfall through Saturday evening, you should expect anywhere from ½ an inch up to 1.5 inches of rain and up into the higher elevations. Tonight, you should expect some very heavy rain with a low of 46 degrees and a wind northeast of 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow, you should also expect a chance of showers with a high of 52 degrees and a wind northwest of 5 to 10 miles per hour. Taking a look at our 7-day forecast, you can see that the rain isn't going to stop anytime soon throughout our area. The temperature should be in the mid to upper 40s and the low 50s, but looking at Tuesday, you should see a high of 61 degrees, which is a little above average for this time of year. Coming up after the break, more news and sports. You're watching WTOP 10 Nightly News.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
I'm a lot more confident and a lot more sure of my abilities.
At Oswego is where I really found myself and became the person I am. You work hard and you play hard. I love the environment of SUNY Oswego.
And welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News. A former model has accused Harvey Weinstein of sexually assaulting her when she was 16 years old. The woman's name has not been identified, but she says Weinstein promised her movie roles and opportunities while harassing her for the next 9 years. Weinstein's attorney says this claim is preposterous. The accusation comes shortly after it had been reported the case against Weinstein for the sexual assault of multiple named women may be unraveling.
Less than a week to go before the 2018 midterms, and there's a different kind of buzz around the election day. John Lawrence reports.
Candidates across the country are heading toward the final stretch before the 2018 midterm elections.
One thing you do is next Tuesday is vote.
And there's an unusual excitement in the air. More than 24 youth activist groups have scheduled a national walkout Tuesday. The goal is to get more people out to vote. And it's not just students making that push. President Trump is stumping in a number of states over the next few days, including Montana, Tennessee, and Ohio.
I think that the president's the best messenger for the party. He's had an incredible, historic first 2 years in office, and he has a great story to tell.
One of the most closely watched races is in Texas. Republican incumbent Ted Cruz is battling for his seat in the Senate against Democratic Congressman Beto O'Rourke. A lot of eyes are on the gubernatorial contest in Georgia between Republican Brian Kemp and Democrat Stacey Abrams. Members of the White House, including Vice President Pence, are campaigning for Kemp. Abrams has the backing of former Presidents Obama and Carter, as well as Oprah Winfrey. Meanwhile, in Wisconsin, incumbent GOP Governor Scott Walker is neck and neck with Democratic challenger Tony Evers.
This last week may be a game of inches, maybe millimeters, to who gets the advantage.
Which means every vote counts. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
As for Tuesday, all 435 seats in the House of Representatives are up for grabs, as are 35 seats in the Senate and 36 governorships.
A California synagogue was vandalized with anti-Semitic graffiti early Wednesday morning. Police say someone vandalized the wall of the Beth Jacob congregation in the city of Irvine. Surveillance video posted by Irvine police shows a man in a hoodie spraying the outside of the synagogue. The incident takes place less than a week after the deadly attack on the Tree of Life synagogue in Pittsburgh. Police say patrols around the city of Irvine Jewish organizations will be increased.
A baggage handler for Piedmont Airlines, a subsidiary of American Airlines, fell asleep in the plane's cargo hold. The 27-year-old ramp service employee was working on a Boeing 737-800 at Kansas City International Airport and woke up at Chicago O'Hare Airport. According to Chicago police, they say the employee was not injured and has not been charged in the incident. Piedmont Airlines has, however, been suspended pending the outcome of an investigation, according to the airline. Such incidents are rare but are not unheard of.
Refugee children and families are being transferred from the island of Nauru to Australia, but they will not be allowed to settle in the country permanently. Australia reintroduced offshore detention centers in 2012 after a surge in the number of asylum seekers trying to reach the community by boat. In August, more than 30 non-government organizations launched a campaign using the hashtag #KidsOffNauru. Australia's top diplomat High Commissioner George Brandis says the government is expecting the remaining children to be transferred by Christmas.
Boko Haram militants have been suspected to kill at least 15 people in northern Nigeria, according to local officials and residents. Nigeria's National Emergency Agency says in a statement Thursday that 6 people were killed in the Kufa village by insurgents. The group's militants have burned villages, mosques, and churches, carried out mass kidnappings, assassinations, and market bombings. The Nigerian army said that Boko Haram had killed some of its soldiers in an ambush in July.
President Trump tweeted that he spoke to China's president Thursday about a trade between the two nations. But as Omar Jimenez reports, the effects of the ongoing tariffs have shown no signs of slowing down and could have an even bigger impact on U.S. consumers, manufacturers, and farmers after the midterms.
The world's two biggest economies locked in a trade war with no substantial progress toward an end from either side. The latest move coming this week as the U.S. restricts software and technology exports to a state-backed Chinese company, citing security interests.
The fact is we have to start taking care of our own country because we were taking care of other countries and we were letting our country go to hell in trade and in so many other ways.
But the president acknowledging the two sides are speaking, tweeting, "Just had a long and very good conversation with President Xi Jinping of China. We talked about many subjects with a heavy emphasis on trade." Meanwhile, the total of more than $360 billion worth of tariffs from both sides are starting to have real effects on Americans, with several thousand U.S. goods affected. Among them, soybeans.
It's a matter of concern when your largest soybean export customer is having negotiations with your government.
In September, the U.S. Department of Agriculture made $4.7 billion of aid available to farmers, but it hasn't quite been enough. The National Milk Producers Federation claims dairy producers have lost more than $1 billion in revenue since May because of tariffs imposed by China and Mexico, and warns that, quote, significant income losses will continue as long as these tariffs remain in place. In Washington, I'm Omar Jimenez.
President Trump and China's President Xi Jinping are set to meet in about a month at the G20 summit in Argentina. It's expected that they will discuss trade and tariffs there.
And after the break, Brian Rudman will bring you sports. You're watching WTOP 10 Nightly News.
then she was like, yeah, and I was like, no. And then she was like, yeah, and I was like, yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, what?
Ryan just texted me.
Oh my god, what did he say?
Netflix and chill?
Netflix and chill, that's like so last year. It's all about WTOP movies on demand and chill.
You are so right.
Yo, bro, what's wrong?
Yo, bro, my girl left me, bro.
But why?
Because I don't watch WTOP 10 movies on demand.
This new dad is picturing a tree house in the sky, but he's ignoring the instructions. Good luck, big guy. His kids know that he's building without a clue. Never been so good with nails and glue. Now we're trapped inside a box. I hope mom knows what to do. Mom! See, you don't have to be perfect to be the perfect parent.
Thousands of siblings in foster care will take you just as you are.
Hey, it's Ava, and this is Tess from Do Your Selfie, where we recreate the hottest looks from today's biggest music videos.
After cleaning out our closet, we have a lot of clothes we don't wear anymore.
Like this old pile of t-shirts.
It's not garbage, it's actually a new rug.
And to make it, all you need to do is cut, tie, and glue.
Cut the t-shirt into strips.
Tie the strips into knots.
And glue the knots to the bath mat. I love it. Give your garbage another life.
And recycle.
Welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm sports anchor Brian Rudman. Let's get right into it. The Oswego State swimming and diving teams are both coming off victories against Wells College on Saturday. Both teams dominated their competition as the men won by a score of 148 to 59, while the women won 148 to 31. With the wins, the men go to 2-1, while the women picked up their first win of the season. Reporter Ben Gramado has the story.
The Oswego State men's and women's swimming and diving teams are officially halfway through their meets for this semester, following their meet Saturday against Wells College. Both teams are looking to build off success from last season, as the men finished 10-0 in the regular season and 3rd in the SUNYAC playoffs, and the women finished 8-2 in the regular season and 6th in the SUNYAC playoffs. According to senior Hannah Jensen, the team's main focus will be when it comes to SUNYAC playoffs.
As far as our season goes, yes, dual meets are important, but our main focus is always SUNYACs at the end of the season.
On the men's side, junior Ryan Cruiser talked about some keys to improving on their 3rd place finish from last year.
To move up in SUNYACs, we have to keep getting faster. We have to place more guys into the top 16 to score more points. And we have to swim faster than Cortland, who placed 2nd last year. According to head coach Mike Holman, the team still has a ways to go in terms of chasing conference power Geneseo.
Geneseo is heads above everyone else in our conference. There's not going to be anyone touching them at the moment, but that is our goal. We're working hard to build a team that, in the near future can at least compete on that level. And we've made nice leaps the last few years. We were at the bottom a few years ago. We've built ourselves back up, and then we're 3rd last year.
For WTOP 10 Sports, I'm Ben Gramado.
Thanks for the story, Ben. It's championship weekend in the SUNYAC Conference as the Oswego State volleyball team will travel to Geneseo for the semifinals and potentially the finals, following their come-from-behind 3-2 victory over the number 3 seeded Brockport. The 6-seeded Lakers will face off against number 2 seed SUNY New Paltz at 4 p.m. tomorrow. If the Lakers should win, they would go on to face the winner of number 1 Geneseo versus number 4 Fredonia Saturday at 4. Moving now to the ice, it's finally here. Regular season hockey returns to Oswego as the men's hockey team will take home ice in their season opener against SUNY Cortland tomorrow night at 7 p.m. The Lakers come in off 2 impressive victories in exhibitions against Nazareth College and the Carleton Place Canadians. The Lakers will look for contributions from sophomore Tanner Spink, who had 3 goals in the 2 exhibitions, and from junior Mitch Emerson, who had 2 goals in the exhibitions. Be sure to catch the action right here on WTOP 10. Now to the basketball court, a touching moment last night as Minnesota Timberwolves Derrick Rose had a career night. The former MVP, who has battled injuries for years, returned to form last night, dropping 50 points with 6 assists and 4 boards in the Wolves' 128-125 victory against the Utah Jazz last night. 50 points is his career high, and following the final buzzer, Rose broke down and started crying. When asked what last night meant to him, Rose responded with just one word: everything. Heading now to the city that never sleeps, as the New York Knicks hosted the Indiana Pacers last night in a close game that saw the Knicks fall 107-101. It was a tight game throughout, with the Knicks leading by a score of 81-77 after 3 quarters. However, the Knicks were unable to hold on. The Pacers were led by Domantas Sabonis, who put up 30 points on a perfect 12-for-12 night from the field. The Pacers now sit at 5-3 on the season, with the Knicks falling to 2-6. Now from the Garden to the Barclays Center, as the Nets hosted the Detroit Pistons in a thriller last night. Started off late in the fourth. It's going to be the Nets. Allen finding his way into the lane and getting the hoop and the harm to put the Nets up 2 after the free throw. Next possession by the Pistons will be Blake Griffin finding his way open to put the Nets back up. To put the Pistons back up, right here on the wide open 3, draining it. He's going to be hyped as the Pistons are now up 108-107. He is pumped up, as you can tell right there. 20 seconds left now. It's going to be Spencer Dinwiddie for the Nets. A little catch and shoot off the inbounds, draining the 3, tying the game up at 110 with 20 seconds to go. Now it's the last possession of the game, clock ticking down, and the Nets' interior defense is going to hold. Good team rebounding by the Nets, keeping it at 110-110 as we're headed to overtime. Now 13 seconds left. It's going to be Spencer Dinwiddie again for the Nets with a huge step-back 3, draining it in Andre Drummond's face, hyping up this crowd and his team, putting the Nets up 120-119. Now the last possession of the game, 5 seconds left. Blake Griffin trying to find his way into the paint, takes the fade away, can't get it to hit. Nets go on to win 120-119. They're now 3-5 on the season, with the Pistons falling to 4-3.
Wow, crazy game last night in Brooklyn. That crowd was electric.
Yeah, big shots by Spencer Dinwiddie throughout the night, tying it up in the fourth and then winning it for him in the overtime period.
Brittany, how's the weather looking?
Unfortunately, the rain's going to keep sticking through us in the area for the remaining of the week. We're only going to see a few sunny days, but other than that, it's going to be a gloomy week.
Was hoping that rain would go away.
Well, that's our report for tonight. Be sure to stay tuned for the Lakeside View.
Thank you for watching, and have a great night, everyone.
What would happen if I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors? What would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? So you can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter. Male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers. We have leaders in business.
Is me, you, anyone that wants to be.
There is no typical firefighter.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.